The Senate has voted to cut off spending for the F-22 fighter jet program. The Associated Press reports the 58-40 vote removes $1.75 billion set aside in a defense policy bill to build 7 more F-22 Raptors. Secretary Gates told reporters Monday that tens of thousands of jobs will be created as work transitions from the F-22 to the newer F-35.
The F-22 has 24,000 direct employees this year. 19,000 in 10, 13,000 in 11. The F-35 already has 38,000 employees, so it already is hiring 13,000 more than the F-22. That will go to 62,000 or 64,000 in FY10 and 82,000 in FY11 if we don't drain money away from it.
Secretary Gates said if properly supported, the F-35 can become the backbone of America's tactical aviation fleet for decades to come. Commander-in-Chief Barack Obama thanked lawmakers for their vote to cut off spending for the F-22. He also thanked Secretary Gates for his leadership on the F-22 issue. It's been 3 weeks since U.S. forces moved out of urban areas in Iraq. Tuesday, the commander of Multinational Division Baghdad gave a progress report on how things have been going since then. Air Force Master Sergeant George Maurer has more.
Major General Daniel Bolger told reporters he describes the security situation in Baghdad as stable. General Bolger says some people were worried when U.S. combat forces withdrew, there would be a major spike in violence. And for the most part, he says, that has not happened.
There's certainly bad guys out there, and there's been some unfortunate incidents. There's been nothing like a sustained violent impact by Al-Qaeda or any of the other militant groups we fight against. And that really reflects the fact that I think the Iraqis were pretty much ready for this move, and they've grabbed the ball. The bad guys we fight, especially Al-Qaeda, they're a combat-type organization, so they have to go through a planning and preparation cycle. And I don't know exactly what's going through their heads, but I know they had to adjust after 30 June 2 and try and figure out what was going on.
General Bolger says around 1,500 U.S. service members are still in the Baghdad area in a support role for the 150,000 members of the Iraqi security forces. As for the rest of the troops, he says they're still out for the same number of hours, performing the same number of tasks. The only difference, he says, they're carrying out missions further out from the cities. Reporting from the Pentagon, I'm Air Force Master Sergeant George Maurer.
The Army has partially terminated manned ground vehicle development. The program fell under the Future Combat Systems Brigade Combat Team System Development and Demonstration contract with Boeing. The Army is taking this action to comply with the Secretary of Defense's recommendation to cancel the program. And the Army is warning soldiers to steer clear of unaccredited colleges and universities that claim to offer instant degrees based on military experience. These institutions are also known as diploma mills. Army officials say soldiers who knowingly purchase one of these documents and attempt to have it placed in their official military personnel file to gain a promotion will be punished. The Army also does not approve tuition assistance for these schools. To find a list of accredited schools, go to armyed.com. Construction will soon be complete for the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Stratton. The Stratton will become the nation's third national security cutter. First Lady Michelle Obama will serve as its sponsor. It is the first time a First Lady has been involved with a cutter. Coast Guard officials laid the keel on Monday, and the Stratton is more than 20% complete and will have increased range and endurance, a larger flight deck, and other upgrades. It is named for Captain Dorothy C. Stratton, who directed the Coast Guard's Women's Reserve, or SPARS, during World War II. Stratton was also the first woman accepted into SPARS, which filled many roles during the war. 2 Midwest soldiers will represent the Army Reserve Command at the upcoming Best Warrior competition at Fort Lee, Virginia in September. 28 Army reservists met at Fort McCoy in Wisconsin last week to compete for the top honors. The competition included marksmanship, physical fitness, and a 10K hump, as well as an exam and graded essay. One soldier says his Army experience has already paid off for him, win or lose.
I work a lot harder at things, and I try harder, and I appreciate things a lot more. I feel that's made me a stronger person, and especially in a competition like this, it's made me appreciate things a lot more and opportunities.
Staff Sergeant Aaron Butler of the 255th Army Hospital took NCO of the Year, while Specialist Shiloh Betcher of the 416th Engineer Company earned Soldier of the Year. Coming up next on Around the Services, Air Advantage. See how a new advanced system is helping Air Force pilots high in the skies as well as troops on the ground. Also ahead, Helping Hand. Military workers in South America are taking a break and boosting one country's economy to help children learn.